Let me tell you something most men don't realize. A lot of you are way more attractive than you actually think. Seriously. You walk around doubting yourself, assuming women don't notice you, when in reality, they do. We see everything. The way you move, how you carry yourself, the quiet confidence you don't even know you're giving off. But here's the thing. Women will never come out and say, "Wow, you're so attractive just for being composed." Number. Instead, we'll test it, we'll get curious about it, and sometimes we'll even act a little distant just to see how you handle it. Most guys have no clue how many subtle ways they draw women in, not because of how they look, but because of the energy they give off. That's what this is really about. Attraction isn't only about muscles, height, or money. It's about presence, how a man makes a woman feel, and the mystery he naturally creates when he's not desperate for attention. The truth? A lot of the men women secretly want aren't the ones chasing or showing off. They're the ones who don't even realize how magnetic they are. The men who just move through life with quiet confidence and purpose. They're not trying to prove anything, and that's exactly what makes women pay attention. So in this video, I'm going to show you 7 clear signs that you're way more attractive than you think you are. These are the signals women pick up on, the ones we rarely admit out loud. And once you understand them, you'll start to see that you've probably been getting attention all along, just in ways you didn't notice. Because here's the truth. Women can feel when a man doesn't need validation. And that's when we start to give it without even meaning to. 1. Women get nervous around you, and you don't even realize it. You ever notice how some women act a little awkward around you? Maybe they talk fast, avoid eye contact, or seem unsure of what to say. You probably assume they're not interested. But here's something most men don't realize. When a woman is genuinely attracted to you, she often becomes a little nervous. Not because she doesn't like you, but because she actually does. When a woman feels something around you that she can't control, that spark of attraction, she starts to overthink everything. Her brain goes into panic mode trying to not mess it up. So she might fidget, play with her hair, laugh at things that aren't even funny, or act a bit distant just to hide that she's flustered. That's not rejection. That's chemistry she's trying to manage. But here's where most men get it wrong. They take that nervousness as disinterest and back off completely. Meanwhile, the woman walks away thinking, "Wow, he didn't even notice how much I liked him." See, women are experts at hiding attraction when we feel vulnerable. We'll act cool, talk to other people, even avoid looking at you, all while our minds are spinning about you. Let me paint a picture. Imagine you're at a social event, and a woman you barely know keeps finding reasons to be near you, but she barely talks to you directly. She laughs louder when you're in the room. Her body's angled toward you, but she's talking to someone else. You might assume she's just being friendly or social, but in reality, she's hyper-aware of you. She's checking if you'll notice her. That's attraction in disguise. Most of the time, it's not the loud, confident women who are the most into you. It's the ones who get a little shy, stumble over their words, or give quick smiles before looking away. That's how a woman's body gives her away even when her words don't. If you're the kind of man who stays calm, relaxed, and centered while she's nervous, you amplify her attraction even more. Because women feel safe around a man who doesn't flinch under tension. She senses you're grounded, and that makes her feel something deeper than just physical attraction. It's emotional pull. So the next time a woman seems a little awkward or uncertain around you, don't assume it's because she's not interested. It might actually mean the opposite. The truth is, when women get nervous around you, it's not a sign you're doing something wrong. It's a sign you're doing something right. 2. You don't chase, yet women keep coming back. One of the clearest signs you're more attractive than you realize is that women seem to circle back, even after time has passed or things never officially started. You might think it's just coincidence, or maybe they're bored, but it's not that simple. When a woman feels drawn to a man who doesn't chase, it hits her differently. It's not about ego. It's about energy. Here's the truth. Most men give away their power the second they feel a woman's attention. They rush to respond, over-text, over-plan, and over-explain. And when you don't do that, when you're calm, centered, and unbothered, it confuses women in the best way. Because deep down, women are used to men proving themselves. So when you don't, it makes her curious. It makes her feel something she can't control. A man who doesn't chase stands out instantly. It's not arrogance, it's control. And control is incredibly attractive to women. It signals that you know your worth and that no one's attention defines your value. That kind of energy makes a woman feel like she has to earn your interest. She'll start thinking about you more, checking your stories, wondering who's catching your attention and trying to reconnect. All because you didn't chase. Most men think women want them to pursue endlessly. But the truth is, we want to feel like your presence is earned. That's what triggers emotional investment. When you don't rush to validate us, we start questioning ourselves. Does he even like me? And that's where attraction deepens. Because a little mystery is powerful. When a man isn't afraid of losing a woman, that's when she starts fearing losing him. That's why women come back to you, even after pulling away. It's not always because they're in love or regretful. Sometimes it's because your energy stuck with them. You didn't chase, you didn't beg, you didn't act desperate, and that self-control makes you unforgettable. 3. You have a calm energy that makes women feel safe. Let's talk about something that most men underestimate, the power of calm energy. You might not think much about it, but your presence can be more attractive than your looks, your money, or your words. When a man carries himself with calm confidence, not fake confidence, not ego, just quiet composure, women feel it before you even say a word. Here's what most guys don't realize. Women pick up on energy faster than logic. We notice your tone, your pacing, your breathing, your reactions, all of it. And when a man is calm, grounded, and emotionally stable, it makes us relax instantly. That's rare. Because most men either try too hard to impress or get nervous trying to read our signals. So when a guy doesn't do any of that, when he's just comfortable in himself, it's magnetic. It's not about being emotionless or cold. It's about being emotionally in control. You don't get thrown off when a woman tests you or goes quiet. You don't overreact when she pulls away a little. You don't feel the need to prove your worth or compete for attention. That kind of emotional stillness, that unshakable presence, makes women feel safe around you. And safety, for a woman, is the deepest kind of attraction. It's not just about feeling physically safe. It's about feeling emotionally safe. When we sense that you're not easily swayed, not easily triggered, not desperate for validation, we start trusting you on a deeper level. And that's what keeps us hooked. You see, a calm man gives off a message without even saying it. I've got myself. I don't need to chase anyone. That energy tells a woman you're solid, that your world doesn't fall apart if she disappears. And that's when she wants to be part of your world. Even silence becomes powerful when it comes from a calm man. You don't have to talk much or overcompensate. You just exist with quiet confidence. And she starts wondering about you. She feels drawn in without understanding why. 4. You make eye contact that feels different. There's something powerful about a man who knows how to hold eye contact, not in an aggressive or intimidating way, but in that calm, grounded, confident way that makes a woman feel seen. If you've ever looked at a woman and she looked away quickly, fidgeted, or smiled nervously, that's not random. That's your attraction working, and you probably don't even realize it. Women feel it instantly when a man's gaze carries quiet confidence. Because eye contact is energy, and most men either break it too soon or use it like a tool to dominate. But when your eye contact is steady, relaxed, and natural, it hits differently. It tells her you're not afraid of connection. You're not seeking approval. You're just present. And that presence makes her feel something deep. You might think it's a small thing, but for women, it's not. The way you look at us says everything about how you see yourself. A man who's insecure looks down, looks away, or tries to overcompensate by staring too long. But a man who's truly confident doesn't need to win eye contact. He just holds it naturally, with no tension, no rush. That balance between focus and ease is incredibly attractive. And here's the truth. Women can feel when your eyes are grounded in self-respect. There's a difference between a man who looks at you because he wants to impress you, and a man who looks at you because he's comfortable in his own skin. The second one always wins. You don't have to do anything. You just have to be. The way you observe quietly, listen without interrupting, or give a slow, subtle smile while keeping that steady gaze, it stays in a woman's mind longer than you realize. Because in that moment, she doesn't feel judged or objectified. She feels seen, and that's something women don't forget easily. Think about how rare that is today, where most interactions are surface level, fast and distracted. When you make real eye contact, you're giving her something deeper, attention that feels intentional. And that kind of attention doesn't come from neediness. It comes from strength. 5. Other men start acting differently around you. Here's something a lot of guys miss. When you're more attractive than you realize, it's not just women who feel it. Other men do too. They might not say it out loud, but they sense it. Your presence changes the energy of a room, and people start responding to you differently, especially other men. You'll notice it in subtle ways. Maybe guys suddenly get competitive around you. They talk louder when you're nearby, interrupt you more, or try to prove something in conversations. Sometimes they even downplay your achievements or joke at your expense, not because they dislike you, but because they feel your quiet strength, and that can make them insecure. See, true attraction, the kind that women and even men notice, isn't about how loud or flashy you are. It's about presence. When you walk into a room calm, confident, and composed, you instantly disrupt the social balance. Other men pick up on it before you say a word. You don't even have to try. Your energy alone sets a tone. There's a reason women pay attention to how other men react to you. It's subconscious, but it's real. When they see that you command quiet respect, when guys listen when you talk, or even compete for your approval, it amplifies your attractiveness. Because it signals leadership, and women are drawn to that. Picture this. You're out with a group of people, and you're not trying to impress anyone. You're relaxed, listening, smiling occasionally, but not forcing yourself into the center of attention. Yet somehow, people direct their energy toward you. A guy tells a story and glances your way to see if you're amused. Another tries to outshine you, and a woman notices that. She sees the social dynamic, and it tells her more about you than anything you could say. Women are highly observant of status cues, not material status, but social energy. When she sees that other men respect you, even quietly, it registers in her mind as, he's someone people naturally follow. That kind of energy doesn't need validation. It's masculine confidence that speaks through how others react to you. 6. You don't try to impress, but you still stand out. One of the biggest signs that you're more attractive than you realize is that you don't try to impress people anymore. yet somehow you still do. It's not arrogance, it's alignment. You've grown into yourself. You know who you are, what you bring, and you don't need validation for it. And that quiet self-assurance is something women pick up on instantly. See, most guys chase attention because they think that's how attraction works. They talk louder, exaggerate stories, or drop hints about what they have or what they've done, all to get noticed. But when a man doesn't do any of that, he stands out more because he's not trying. His energy is still, and that stillness feels powerful. Women can sense the difference between effort that comes from confidence and effort that comes from insecurity. When your confidence is internal, when it's not about proving, showing off, or competing, it radiates naturally. You don't have to brag about your life, you just live it. You don't have to seek approval, you attract it. And that quiet magnetism makes you stand out even in a crowd of louder men. You might think you're being overlooked sometimes, but you're not. Women notice the man who isn't performing, the one who's observing instead of forcing conversation, the one who looks comfortable just being. That calm, self-contained energy makes women curious. They start wondering what makes you so at ease, what your story is, why you're not chasing like everyone else. It's that curiosity that draws them in, because it's rare. A man who doesn't need to perform gives off the energy of someone who's already chosen himself. And women find that deeply attractive. It says you're not desperate for attention or approval, which ironically makes people want your attention even more. 7. You underestimate your impact on women. Here's the part that most men never realize. You're probably far more impactful than you think. The things you say, the way you look at a woman, how you carry yourself. They leave an impression that lasts longer than you imagine. You might think a woman forgot about you, moved on, or never really cared. But what you don't see is how often she thinks about small moments that you've already dismissed. See, women rarely tell you how much they notice. We're observant by nature. We notice how your voice sounds when you're calm, how your body moves when you walk away, how you smell, how you look when you're focused on something. Even your silence leaves a mark. And yet, because we don't always express it, you assume it didn't mean anything. But trust me, it did. You underestimate how your presence lingers. Maybe you made her feel safe, or seen, or excited. Maybe you challenged her, and that threw her off. But either way, she felt something, and feelings are hard to forget. That's why women often replay moments in their heads with certain men, even when nothing serious ever happened. You didn't have to flirt or impress. You just had to be you. And that was enough to stay in her mind. A lot of men look for validation in obvious ways, compliments, texts, attention, but attraction doesn't always show up that way. Sometimes it's in her overthinking, her hesitation, her quiet stalking of your social media, or her comparing other men to you. That's how women process attraction. We don't always announce it. We feel it, and it stays. You might think you're just being polite, just existing. But your calm confidence, your grounded presence, and your subtle masculinity affect women more than you realize. And when you underestimate your impact, you also underestimate your value. At the end of the day, the power to make a woman miss you isn't about games, it's about control. Control of your emotions, your attention, and your energy. When you stop feeding her your validation, you force her to feel the void she created. That silence, that emotional distance becomes louder than any words you could ever say. She starts to wonder what you're doing, who you're with, and whether you ever think about her. And the truth is, she doesn't miss you at first. She misses how you made her feel. The attention, the safety, the excitement, the comfort, all those moments that felt effortless when she had you. But when that access is gone, reality sets in. She realizes she's not as special as she thought she was in your life anymore, and that's when missing you hits her hardest. What makes her miss you isn't just your absence. It's the man you become during it. When you stay focused, when you evolve, when you're too busy improving your life to look back, she feels that shift. She sees it, senses it, and starts to chase the emotional energy she once took for granted. So remember this. Don't beg for her attention. Don't try to prove your worth. Just walk away with quiet confidence and let time do the talking. The man who can walk away calmly, rebuild silently, and stay disciplined when his emotions scream otherwise. That's the man she never forgets, because when she realizes you're no longer waiting, that's when she finally starts missing you.